Turkish line-up compared with the match at Wembley. Engin in goal, Ali for the injured Gökhan, Tugay, who missed the first match through injury, and Feyyaz, who's preferred to Hami, the man who you may remember hit that free kick from more than 35 yards. He now joins Hakan on the substitutes bench, Hakan having played yesterday in the under-21 match. And since the 4-0 defeat, Turkey have lost home and away to Holland and only drawn 0-0 in San Marino. The two changes in the England side compared with November are Andy Sinton for Stuart Pearce at left back and John Barnes for Alan Shearer. Barnes given the attacking central role alongside Ian Wright. Les Ferdinand was the manager's first choice for that position, but he's not recovered from a hip injury. Ince and Wright, like Sinton, were not playing in the 6-0 win over San Marino.
You mentioned the Bullen and Gascoigne situation. I mean, they paid the price in the home game when they decided to let whoever was closer to Gascoigne pick him up rather than man mark him, and of course he scored a couple of goals and had too much space. On this occasion, number 6 Bullen is definitely going to man mark him, and so space, even in the opening few minutes, looked pretty congested in that midfield department.
Down to Dixon. Wright makes the run out to the right. Pulls one with him and is fouled. Rather hasty challenge by Tugay. Wright pulls away. Joins Platt just wide of the penalty spot. Tony Adams is coming up behind them. John Barnes. One dummy, 4 move, 4 go back. That's a good curl, that's Platt, and that's the opening goal. Excellent start, excellent free kick, and they were fooled by that, the Turks. There was one dummy on the free kick. England moved back and then up again, and Platt was unmarked for the little flick header. The man who scored 4 at Wembley has opened the scoring here.
What a wonderful start, and it was a sort of, just for a second, Paul Gascoigne was going to take the free kick, probably as was going to be the preparation before, of course, John Barnes suddenly came into the side and then taking it with his left foot. Look at the marking for David Platt at the near post. You can't afford to let somebody like him get 3 or 4 yards spare. But I think it was John Barnes then said, well, let me whip it in with the left foot. There he goes, David Platt running into space. 3 Turkish defenders standing, and it's 1-0.
Curling ball, and Gascoigne scores with his head, makes it 2-0, and it's gone very, very silent in the main stadium here in Izmir. Smile of David Platt, summing up the position. Hayrettin, like the man he's replaced, Engin, beaten before he'd had any chance to field the ball.
Very glad he came on, but I mean, it was a long floating ball, good early ball again by Paul Ince, but Paul Gascoigne, sensing the goalkeeper was half and half, lobbed it almost towards the far post, and it drifted over in this perfect header.
The goal scorers, Platt the first, Gascoigne the second, and England come off with a very comfortable 2-0 lead. It's in, and here's John Barnes. Platt. Well, I don't know whether it spun off the outside of his boot, but he really lined himself up to thump that, and it went wide.
I must say, a goal flashed up in my mind there as I saw him setting himself there. It was a good break, wasn't it, by Paul Gascoigne initially. Then John Barnes found himself free, hung the ball up towards the far post, and as I say, I think as he dropped his shoulder, it just sliced off the outside of his foot. A good opportunity. But
Hayrettin does well. Nice touch by Wright, and a good attempt at the chip, but he just didn't quite get it high enough.
To get to it was a good chip, good idea. He was off his line. Good back heel by Wright.
Scoring on his first away match since the semi-final of the World Cup in Italy. He scored the second on the stroke of half-time after David Platt had scored the first 7 minutes into the match.